Good morning. Today I'm here on behalf of the wildlife of Arizona, the nation's national mammal, and what it means to be a national park. The issue that is of concern to me, and a policy that I believe needs to be overturned before it can be put into action, is the reduction of the buffalo herd at the Grand Canyon's North Rim, or rather, the main process by which they hope to achieve these means. First, I believe some background information as to reasons why there is a desire to reduce the herd size is beneficial. Currently, there is believed to be approximately 400 to 600 buffalo living on and near the North Rim. According to the National Park Service, the land can only sustain around 80 to 200 buffalo. The big issue here is that the animals are destroying the area due to their vast size, and the fact that being very large animals, they require a large amount of resources such as water and food. The issue of herd size also comes into play because almost every buffalo lives exclusively on the national park lands, and since it is such, they cannot be hunted like they would be if they were living on nearby land. This means that the herd size is not being reduced by humans, as it is against the law to hunt on national park lands. State legislators have proposed that to deal with the herd size and to get it to an amount the land can sustain, the herd must be reduced in both lethal and non-lethal ways. This means there will be a combination of culling and relocation of as many as 400 buffalo. There are many reasons why one should care about this issue, but I'm just going to outline the main ones for you. One reason is because buffalo in the United States have historically almost been hunted to extinction for reasons such as not being enough land for them, as well as other related topics. This means we should care because there's no way to know for sure that the North Rim buffalo are not just going to all be hunted and cause that herd to go extinct. Another very big reason for why one should care, and maybe even more important than the first, is that since the whole herd now lives on the Grand Canyon National Park, to allow the culling to occur, there would have to be a change in the National Park Service hunting laws. By changing it would allow hunters to hunt on the national park, which would be completely going against everything that the parks are supposed to be for the animals. The national parks are supposed to be areas that are hunt-free and a place where animals and plant species alike are not facing the threat of mankind and our weapons. If this change is to be allowed, it has potential to have very negative effects, even larger than the buffalo. For one, there may arise a chaotic situation on the nation's parks, as there are those shooting at and killing animals that are on the lands. There also is no way to guarantee there will not be other animals caught in the crossfire and end up with even more deaths than there are supposed to be. Is that really a risk we want to take? You should also care, for if the regulations are changed for one park, there's nothing to ensure the same will not happen at others. It would be very easy for a park to say their herd of this animal or another is too large. So if it's allowed at the Grand Canyon, there is no way to know for sure these sort of claims are not going to start showing up at national parks all over the country. If this were to happen, would the parks even mean anything anymore? I think they would not, for animals to not even be safe on them, something that they need now more than ever. Now, it is important to understand exactly why the buffalo herd size is an issue, and the reasons behind why they want to reduce it and potentially allow hunting on a national park, even though that is something that is not permitted. The main cause of the issue is that fewer and fewer of the buffalo are moving from the park lands, which means that they are just staying there, and breeding is causing the herd to increase even quicker as no one is leaving. This also means that none of the buffalo are being able to be hunted because they're staying on land where hunting is not allowed. It is possible that many are choosing not to move off the lands because they would have, I assume, been able to figure out that where they are living now, they will not be hunted. If they went back to where the herd used to primarily live, they would not be safe. The security and fact that no hunting is allowed on national parks may be why the herd is choosing not to leave. This may not be an issue, but scientists are expecting the herd size to reach around 1,000 in the next 10 years. For the Grand Canyon, this would mean further destruction of the plants and other wildlife that call the area home. It also raised the issue that if the herd were to get that large, would it be safe for the land, the herd, and the people? It is believed it would not be, and that's why they're proposing to reduce the size now, by whatever means possible. My main issue with this proposed policy is that similar behavior to what they want to do now may be why there's the issue in the first place, as well as where the information about the herd size being a problem is coming from. For one, we are receiving the information from the National Park Service and scientists who are no doubt paid by the Park Service to investigate. That's fine, but it also could raise the question of whether the results are as genuine as they could be, or if they were presented in a way to support what is wanted to be done. Also, while the herd size may in fact be too large for the area in which they now live, there's really, I do not believe, a way to prove that the buffalo are solely responsible for the damage to the landscape. Many animals call the Grand Canyon home, so it seems a bit unfair to decide that this one species is the one causing the problems as opposed to, say, the elk, who also reside in the area. Even if they are the main cause of destruction, culling does not seem like the best option. As I mentioned before, the fact that it would permit hunting on the national park is an issue because there's no way to know for sure. People will not take it as a sign that hunting is going to always be allowed on those lands. It also does not seem like the best option, for even though the state has said it will be through lethal and non-lethal methods of removal, it seems like there's a large leaning towards simply hunting the buffalo until they reach a level that the park wants there to be. I propose, instead of the hunting of the buffalo, a large-scale relocation of all, or the vast majority at least, of the ones who are over the amount the park believes can safely be maintained. Allowing hunting on the national park grounds, even if just a one-time thing, would violate all that the park stands for and could have long-term negative effects on the image that the parks have with the public. It has already been stated that any that are moved instead of being hunted are going to be moved to places such as reservations. I have another component of the moving that seems to make logical sense considering where it is the animals are living now. The National Park Service is a big system with a lot of parks and forests under its care. I propose moving buffalo to other parks and animal preserves within the system. That way they can live and not cause problems with the plant life of the Grand Canyon. They could be moved to places like Yellowstone, Yosemite, or the Grand Tetons, to name a few. I believe this would be a much more humane way to deal with the oversized herd and allow all the animals to still be able to live and thrive. Thank you.